This past year, Royal Caribbean released two brand new cruise ships, Icon of the Seas and Utopia of the Seas. And if you're thinking about going on one of these ships but you can't decide which one, let us help. I'm Travis.
And I'm Nicole.
Let's get wanderlost. As we said in the intro, there are two brand new cruise ships from Royal Caribbean that released this past year. You have Utopia of the Seas and Icon of the Seas. These two ships are the largest and second largest cruise ships in the entire world. And we know when you're trying to decide if you want to go on one of the latest and greatest ships, there might be some questions on which one do you actually want to pick. So in this video, we're going to go over both Utopia and Icon, what makes them similar and what makes them different, and then kind of go over which one you should choose. So first, we're going to talk to you about each one of the ships. So I'll start with Utopia of the Seas. Utopia is the sixth of the Oasis-Class ships from Royal Caribbean, and they were the largest cruise ship class in the entire world until Icon of the Seas came out. Utopia is the largest of the six Oasis-Class ships. It's roughly 238,000 gross tons and holds about 7,500 people. Utopia of the Seas keeps the Oasis-Class neighborhoods, so you have the boardwalk, the Royal Promenade, the solarium area, the entire pool deck, the sports zone, and of course, Central Park. Utopia also has a ton of different amenities and different activities you can partake in, including the Ultimate Abyss slide, and the zip line, which goes across the boardwalk area at the back of the ship. There's tons of pool space and tons of different pools you can go into, and a lot of different whirlpools and jacuzzis as well. There's even 3 water slides near the front of the ship, 2 regular tube slides, and then a toilet bowl, which is kind of fun to go down. Utopia of the Seas has tons of different food options, including complimentary options like the Windjammer, the main dining room, El Loco Fresh, and a few others. And there's also a bunch of specialty dining restaurants, including Chops Grill, 150 Central Park, Hooked, and Giovanni's Italian Kitchen. And our favorite dining experience is on Utopia of the Seas as well, which is Royal Railway, which is a train on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. Utopia also has a ton of great shows to go watch, like Utopia, the ice skating show, Aqua 82, which is in the Aqua Theater, and All In the Royal Theater. Utopia of the Seas sails 3 and 4 night sailings to Nassau and Coco Cay in the Bahamas, and they have a format called the World's Biggest Weekend, which is supposed to be Royal Caribbean's party ship, which has nightclubs, even a toga party, dance parties on the promenade, and a bunch of other stuff that you can do to kind of have fun on your cruise ship. With Utopia of the Seas, Royal Caribbean has really perfected the Oasis class of ships, and it is truly probably the best setup of all 6 of them.
Up next, we have Icon of the Seas, which is going to be Royal Caribbean's very first ship in their Icon class series. This is now currently the world's largest cruise ship at 250,000 gross tons and can hold about 7,600 passengers. With Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean has taken the neighborhood concept from their Oasis-Class ships and added a little twist to it. So now on Icon, you will get a Surfside neighborhood. You do still have Central Park. We have a brand new Aquadome, the adults-only Hideaway, as well as Thrill Island. Thrill Island is where you're going to find all of your water slides and fun things to do up on the pool deck. So it actually has the Category 6 water park, which is going to be 6 different water slides, which is supposed to be the most at sea. This is also where you will find 3 decks worth of pools and jacuzzis, plenty of deck space for everyone, as well as the all-new Crown's Edge, which is perfect for the thrill seekers. Icon of the Seas also offers the most variety of any other ship in terms of dining options. There is a really good mix of both complimentary and paid specialty dining options, as well as the all-new Empire Supper Club. Icon also has some of the best shows at sea, including the Wizard of Oz in the Royal Theater. You have your Aqua Action in the Aquadome, and then the all-new Elemental ice skating show in Absolute Zero. Overall, Icon of the Seas is a ship that was designed with kids and families in mind, and there is truly something for everyone, anyone of all ages on this ship. Icon of the Seas currently does 7-night itineraries, leaving Miami, Florida.
So let's talk about some Icon versus Utopia stuff. First up, Utopia of the Seas is made for first-time cruisers. That's what Royal Caribbean had in mind when it came out with the world's biggest weekend concept. So it does a lot of shorter sailings, which if you haven't ever done a cruise before, or you're getting back into cruising and you're kind of worried about doing a longer sailing, Utopia of the Seas is the perfect ship for that, because 3 or 4 nights you can give it a try, and you're not stuck at sea for 7 days or longer. With these shorter sailings, Utopia of the Seas is actually cheaper than Icon of the Seas. So I looked up a random sailing in the middle of August, which is the busiest time of the year for cruising. And on Utopia of the Seas, for a 4-night sailing, it was roughly about $1,043 per person in a guaranteed balcony. A cruise on Icon of the Seas around the same exact time, but it's a 7-nighter instead of a 4-night, also in a guaranteed balcony, was $2,507. The difference of that is Utopia of the Seas, it's about $260 a night per person, while Icon of the Seas is about $358 a night per person, which is a huge dollar amount difference, especially when you start adding multiple people in your stateroom.
Some of the standout differences between Utopia and Icon of the Seas are going to be, on Utopia of the Seas, you have the exclusive Royal Railway, which again is going to be that train on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean dining experience, as well as a bar called the Pesky Parrot, which is a very tropical, fun, one of our favorite bars on board. For Icon of the Seas, their exclusives are going to be that all-new Aquadome, where you can go and see the brand new Aqua show that they have, as well as Empire Supper Club, which is going to be their very elevated New York jazz-style dining experience.
And also a major difference between the two ships is at the back of the ship. On Icon of the Seas, they have the Surfside neighborhood, which is made for kids and families. You have Splashaway Bay there, a second buffet, the lemon post, the carousel. And then on Utopia of the Seas, it's more of the classic boardwalk, which also has the carousel, but the aqua theater's down there, along with Johnny Rockets and Playmakers.
Another big difference between Utopia and Icon is going to be that Utopia still has the adults-only solarium at the front of the ship. On Icon, this has been replaced with the Aquadome, so you do not have that feature. But on Utopia, it is still that classic solarium, deck chairs, good views from the very front of the ship, very peaceful, relaxing vibe. On Icon of the Seas, the adults-only area is going to be at the very back of the ship. It's going to be at the Hideaway. So this is going to have more of a pool, Vegas, party style vibe. It is adults only, but it is much louder and livelier than the solarium. So if you're looking for a calm destination to go lay out or read a book, and doing so outside or with no kids around is a priority, you might want to lean towards Utopia with that solarium.
So another difference between Icon and Utopia is actually the shows. On Icon of the Seas, since it's a 7-night itinerary, you actually have more shows that you can actually watch. So on Icon of the Seas, you're going to have 2 shows in the Royal Theater, 2 shows in the ice skating rink, and then 1 in the Aqua Theater, just like on Utopia. The shows in terms of quality, I mean, on Icon and on Utopia, they're both great. But on Icon of the Seas, you get Wizard of Oz. And Wizard of Oz is probably the best thing that Royal Caribbean has ever done in their Royal Theater. The Aqua Theater shows Aqua Action on Icon of the Seas and Aqua 82 on Utopia of the Seas are both great. You should see both of them. And then the ice skating shows, the main ones, Elemental on Icon of the Seas is probably one of the best ice skating shows out there. And Nicole really likes the Utopia ice skating show, which is called Utopia. Kind of confusing. But overall, you can't go wrong with either ship in terms of the shows. They have great entertainment on both of them. Now, the last kind of differences we'll talk about between these two ships is the itineraries. So with Utopia, you're limited to 3 and 4 night sailings, and you only go to Nassau and Coco Cay. So there's not a lot of variety in the places you want to go to, which is perfect for just trying to get away for the weekend or of 4 days during the week, or if you're new to cruising and you want to see what it's out there. But if you wanted variety in your sailings, Icon of the Seas sails 7 night sailings, and they do both Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries, which include places like St. Thomas, St. Martin, Nassau, San Juan, St. Kitts, and then Western itinerary that's also have great places to go to like Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Roatan in Honduras. When we were editing this video, we realized we didn't mention one of the biggest complaints that we had about our sailing aboard Utopia of the Seas. And we have a gigantic ship like Utopia, second largest cruise ship in the entire world, and you're only on there for 3 or 4 nights. It's really hard to see and do everything that you want to do. And you can kind of solve this by doing a back-to-back, so doing a 3-night and then a 4-night, but you're still only going to Nassau and Coco Cay. So be mindful, on a mega ship like Utopia of the Seas, 3 or 4 nights just might not be enough time to really feel like you got the full Utopia of the Seas experience. So which one of these incredible ships should you pick? Because that's ultimately why you're watching this video. First of all, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these ships. Utopia of the Seas scored a 4.7 out of 5 on our ship rating, while Icon of the Seas scored a 4.3, which are both incredible scores. Both of these ships are brand new from Royal Caribbean, and they offer the latest and greatest in each one of their classes. And of course, they're the biggest and second biggest cruise ships in the entire world right now. They're both excellent cruise ships, and you would probably have an amazing time on both of them, just like we did. We enjoyed our time on Utopia and Icon. We're gonna go through a few questions that you'll probably have to answer to kind of figure out which ship is right for you.
One of the first questions is going to be, do you like cruising? Are you a first-time cruiser and you're uncertain about how you're gonna feel stuck on a ship for 7 days? This is where Utopia could be a much better option for you. Kind of just dip your feet in, do a 3 or 4 night, just to see if you like it before you actually do a week-long itinerary.
Royal Caribbean has kind of came up with the world's biggest weekend for that exact reason. It's to try and attract new and cruisers that haven't cruised in a long time. So Utopia of the Seas is made for that. So if that's your entry, then Utopia of the Seas would be the ship that you should select. The next question is, what ports do you want to go to? And with that is what I kind of talked about earlier. Utopia of the Seas has a very limited itinerary. It only goes to Nassau and Coco Cay. So if you want to go to other ports, like if you've been to Nassau before, or you've been to Royal Caribbean's private destination, Coco Cay, and you're like, man, I'd really like to go somewhere else, you're gonna be on Icon of the Seas instead. Because Icon of the Seas has way more variety in its itineraries, and of course you can go to more ports when you have more days. For Nicole and I, we went to St. Thomas and St. Martin along with Coco Cay because we like the Eastern Caribbean. I think on Star of the Seas, which is going to be similar itineraries to Icon, we are doing St. Kitts and St. Thomas. So if you want to go to different ports and you want some variety in your itinerary, you're going to want to do Icon of the Seas.
Another question would be, how much are you willing to spend? Icon of the Seas is the biggest cruise ship in the world, considered one of the best cruise ships in the world, but you are going to pay for that. So Utopia of the Seas, one, it is a shorter cruise, so that will just by default be cheaper, but your cost per night is still cheaper by about $100 a day on Utopia of the Seas. So if you are looking to save a little bit of money so you can spend it on excursions or things like that on your cruise, drink packages, whatever the case may be, Utopia of the Seas might be the way to go because Icon is going to stretch your budget.
Now, if you don't care about money, then you probably want to lean towards Icon of the Seas. because you can get some really nice suites, you can get some really nice staterooms. There's a ton of different places to go for specialty dining, and there's a bar every 50 feet on that ship that has a different menu that you can really ring up a bar tab. Overall, Icon of the Seas is probably the most expensive ship that we've ever been on, and it has a lot to offer with that money, but it's still really expensive. The next question is, how much vacation time do you have? This is a very similar question to do you like cruising, basically. But we all know that everybody out there doesn't get unlimited PTO or 5 weeks of PTO a year, and you kind of have to limit how many days off you're going to take. And if you don't have a lot of PTO, and you can only get a 3 or 4 day vacation type of thing, you're going to want to lean towards Utopia of the Seas, because it does 3 and 4 night sailings, and you're not going to be able to do the 7-nighters that Icon of the Seas does, and Icon of the Seas does not do any short cruises.
Another question would be, who are you sailing with? If you are sailing with small children, teenagers, families, Icon of the Seas is geared towards that demographic. There will be something for everyone. No one will be bored, but it is definitely made for families. Utopia of the Seas is the world's biggest weekend. So if you are looking to party, stay up all night, you're going on a cruise with friends, Utopia of the Seas might be right for you. If you're somewhere in the middle, kind of like us, you really can't go wrong either way.
Now, ultimately, you came to our channel, you're probably curious which one would we pick, because we've done both of them, and we liked both of them. So first up, Nicole, if you had the choice between Utopia of the Seas and Icon of the Seas, and you could pick any itinerary, which one are you picking?
Icon all day.
That wasn't even a question, was it? If you watched our ship rating video, you should know that Nicole's favorite ship is Icon of the Seas. Now, Nicole, why? Why Icon?
Part of it is probably because we booked the day it came out, and we were looking forward to this cruise for 2 years. So Icon kind of seemed like something we'd only heard about, seen videos. I was excited. I'd been looking forward to it, and it kind of lived up to the hype. I had a really good time on Icon of the Seas.
It was because I was there.
No.
Now for me, it's a tough decision. I'm not as quick to jump on Icon like Nicole is, because I pay for a lot of these trips, and it's really expensive. But I do really like Utopia of the Seas. It's probably the best version of an Oasis-Class ship, even though I like Wonder of the Seas better. They've really made that class of ships perfect with Utopia of the Seas. Just a couple things that we would change. But I'm probably gonna lean towards the longer itinerary with the better variety of ports, because I do not like Nassau, and we've been to Coco Cay a lot. So I'm gonna choose probably an Eastern Caribbean itinerary, maybe San Juan, maybe St. Kitts, something along those lines. And I'm gonna select Icon of the Seas as well, because I like what that ship has to offer. I love the Wizard of Oz. I love the shows and how much stuff there is to do on there. But most important to me is getting the most out of my vacation, and that's length, and that's tons of stuff to do. So I'm definitely gonna pick Icon of the Seas because I want 7 days away from work, and it was a great experience. So there you have it. We would select Icon of the Seas over Utopia of the Seas. For me, it's a really tough decision, but I take the longer vacation every time. If you have any questions about either one of these amazing ships, make sure you leave those in the comments section below. If you agree with us, or if you disagree with us, also talk about that with us in the comment section below. If you'd like to support our channel, make sure you like this video and subscribe. It helps us out way more than you realize. And if you need us, we're gonna go into one of these windjammers and just eat way too much food. I'm Travis.
And I'm Nicole.
Thanks so much for watching.